So the new PD is here, and this is a true power driver for those big arm power players out there. Not that you can't get use out of it with slower arm speeds, but if this fits your game and fits your style of play, there's really not much else out on the market like it. So let's talk about it. All right, so I've got an old PD and a new PD kind of to compare side by side. And while they did a really good job making this pretty much identical to the old one, there are some minor differences. If you look at the rim, they both are concaved on the bottom. They both have that little bead at the edge of the wing there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll link you the video below where I talk about it. So they both have the bead to give it that added stability at the end. But then if you look at the shoulders though, the wing of the new PD sticks out a little bit more. It's a little fatter of a rim than the old PD. So although they're the same width and the same shape for the most part, the new PD feels a little bit bigger in your hand than one of the older PDs. But really when you grab it and get it into your hand, you'll feel it and you're like, yeah, that's a PD for sure. The only way I would know it is I have them literally right next to each other and I'm going back and forth, and it's a little nitpick of the differences in the rim there. So another thing to note with the plastic, it feels great in the hand. It has a nice grip to it. It's very durable. I've already hit a rock with it, of course. That was too high. No. But it doesn't really show much wear on the plastic, but it's a little gummier than some of the earlier plastics. That doesn't mean it's a gummy disc. I would say it's not stiff, but it's not gummy. It has a good amount of give. It's pretty hot out here right now. It's like 90 degrees-ish. So out in the heat and the sun, this gets pretty gummy and has a good amount of give. When the older C-Line didn't have that problem with it, it was a little bit more stiff. It held its form a little bit better. But this new plastic still feels really nice. So I've got like two main groups of the PD. One of them is just the 170 to 172 range. All of these are pretty flat with a slight dome to it. So if you're looking for a flatter or a small dome to their PDs, go for some of the lighter ones. But the heavier max weight ones, they have that little I almost call it like a mountaintop type dome to it. I've seen it on a couple other like MD3s or FDs, stuff like that. But that's mainly with the max weight ones that I've found. These 171 and 172 range are pretty flat to very slight dome to it. So if you're looking for that, go the 170 to 172. Now the Flight, again, they've named these very well. This is a power driver. This is for power players. It just goes dead straight. If you put a lot of power on it, it's just dead straight, but it goes fast and far before it fades hard at the end. It's almost like a hybrid between like a fairway type driver and like an overstable utility driver. It has that fast speed to get down the fairway and go a good ways and have a decent amount of glide, but it also has the overstability of some utility type drivers. So especially if you have like a slower arm speed, this is definitely going to be more of like a Firebird type disc for you. It's not going to do much else for you other than just hook up, which you might want that. It feels nice in the hand, and then when you grow into it, you can pump it out a little bit further and use it more as like a control driver like it's meant to. But this definitely has a good amount of stability to it. Like, you're not getting this thing to turn at all. It's just going dead straight, hook up at the end, finish. Forehands is pretty good for forehands. It won't mask your mistakes as much as like a Firebird type disc would, but it's very good for forehands. It feels comfortable in the hand for that. This is just a very workable driver. It'll hold an ante and flex out for you. It'll hold that hyzer the whole way, or you can just dead straight down a fairway and just trust that it's not going to turn to the right at all when you throw it flat and straight. It's a nice consistent driver. Now, is this going to be your like main workhorse? Maybe, maybe not. It depends on your style of game. My style of game, this would definitely be more of a utility, like when I need something to trust that I can just rip on it, won't turn, it's gonna fade for me at the end, but still give me a good distance down the fairway. That is what this is for. Now, if a disc like that sounds really nice and it fits your game really well, there's not much else on the market like this right here. It could compare something like an Onyx, Thunderbird, or Invictus type disc, but that's another video for another day. And I'll link that over here whenever that posts, but otherwise, see you in the next one. It feels nice in the shade. It's disgusting out in the heat. I hate it. It's so humid here in Kansas. It's gross. I hate it. The shade's nice though. Nice little breeze.